The disruption caused by the COVID-19 virus will reverberate long after the immediate crisis is over. Stay tuned to find out what it could mean for you. Hello, I'm Randy Pennington. Thanks for joining the conversation. My videos over the past 3 weeks have focused on how you lead in a time of crisis. There are links to them in the description below. This week, we'll look at what comes next, because there will eventually be a new next in both the world and market you serve. I shared the 4 potential responses to change in a video back in January 2020 and talked about how to use change as a strategic advantage. The options are to adapt, anticipate, pursue, or ignore. We're getting a lot of practice on the adapt side right now, and that's likely to continue. Here's my belief, however, based on history. There will be companies that don't survive this crisis. Others will just hang on. And then there will be those that are positioned for exponential growth. The difference has a lot to do with the decisions you make today. For instance, Procter & Gamble faced the same challenges as every other consumer products companies at the beginning of the Great Depression. P&G decided, however, that everyone was going to need soap, so they might as well buy theirs. Then, with a stroke of genius bolstered by a lot of courage, Procter & Gamble increased its marketing efforts. They decided to pursue change rather than simply adapt or anticipate it. Their strategy was to capitalize on an evolving medium, commercial radio, and then move the concept into television with what we now know as the soap opera. Now, they started producing syndicated serials in 1933, and by 1939 they had 21 in production. The fact that media companies needed sponsors and content helped P&G pursue positive change in the face of a crisis and build brands that continue to lead their markets today. Here's what I want you to do. Brainstorm the changes you can reasonably expect as a result of this crisis. You can sit down at your computer, or if you're like me, use a yellow legal pad. Even better, ask your team to do this exercise too, and then bring it for a planning session. Working on the future creates positive energy. This doesn't take long. I invested less than 10 minutes to come up with 12 changes that I can reasonably expect out of the COVID-19 crisis. Here they are. 1. There'll be a move toward less globalization in the supply chain, as governments and companies focus on stabilizing and securing their ability to produce. 2. Resources such as fuel, money, and talent will be less expensive, at least for a while. Companies that couldn't find talent 2 months before the crisis now have options to attract and retain top talent. 3. Meetings and conferences will come back, but they'll be slow to do so. Many professional and trade associations will see a drop in membership. The big citywide conferences and shows could see reduced attendance for a while as international travel continues to struggle. 4. People are likely to avoid mass gatherings even when it's safe to resume them. At the very least, they'll be more careful. So what does this mean for restaurants, movie theaters, concerts, plays, art galleries, museums, and whatever else? 5. Air travel will resume because people will eventually want to go on vacation, but it could take a while. Some businesses will be slow to return to travel. So can your business capitalize on competitors who are slow to make that investment in face-to-face interaction? 6. Traditional retail will continue to struggle. People are becoming more and more comfortable with online shopping, and now even grocery apps are expanding exponentially in their use. How can you use that to your benefit? 7. Pursuing new technology could give you an advantage. It's time to get on the leading edge of virtual and augmented reality. 8. The federal debt will grow from the stimulus. So what does that mean for state and local governments? How will it aid or hurt public works projects? The WPA put lots of people to work in the Great Depression. Is a version of that on our horizon? 9, there'll be an emphasis on biological and other hard scientists to make sure that we have the talent and innovation we need to prevent and respond to future pandemics. What does that mean for you? 10, education will change at every level. If you're a university, how do you balance the desire for an on-campus experience with the opportunity for online learning? If you're a public school, what change do you need to make to educate your students? Online learning will grow, but how is the problem of equitable access solved? 11, the generation that survived the Great Depression was obsessed with saving. It's logical to assume that could happen with the Millennial and Gen Z generations that will lead us into the future. So what impact will an increased focus on saving have on consumer behavior? What could that mean for you and your business? And 12, we'll need an expanded social net to help people transition to whatever is next. Ideas such as basic income and free college tuition will have even more discussion in the future. So what's the implication for your business? How about for your own financial planning? So what's your list? Some of them are likely to be the same as the one I generated, but there'll be differences based on your industry and business model. Once you have your list, go through it to determine if this is a change I should adapt, anticipate, ignore, or pursue. You can spend as much time as you need, want, or have with this exercise, but it's crucially important to the long-term health and success of your business, because I promise there's a competitor doing a similar exercise even as you watch this video. That's it for now. Your first priority in a crisis is to safely and successfully get through it. That doesn't mean that you can't start anticipating, ignoring, and pursuing change for the future. I'll be back next week with more ideas you can use to build the business you need to deliver the results that you want. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss new content just as soon as it's released. Also, please share this with your friends and other leaders in your organization. Give us a like and comment with your ideas and questions. And remember, the heroes in every marketplace are known by their results. Leaders are known by their ability to positively influence others. Now is still the time to lead, and I'll see you soon.